Hey there, it's time for Java with Jack. It's Monday afternoon, a little later than I normally like to broadcast. And today I'm going to talk about the major differences that happen inside a human brain when we respond to an abstract logo or brand versus a concrete or recognizable brand that has some sort of biological component to it. But first, it's time for our Java. So let me lean over here and get it. I know it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I drink coffee virtually every day and virtually all day every day. So let's share a sip together. Java with Jack. Love that. Oh, man. All right, so the Super Bowl was yesterday, and it was, kind of Christmas for advertisers. And I love to watch Super Bowl advertising. Over the years, my tastes have changed. I used to prefer the game and not pay much attention to the advertisements. And now I don't much care about the game anymore, and I pay a lot of attention to the advertisements. So who won the advertising wars for the Super Bowl? Who do you think? I can tell you who I think did an absolutely outstanding job. That NFL 100 ad, that was amazing. So many iconic faces and moments recreated in that ad. I absolutely loved it. I have no idea what it was they were trying to market and sell, but it was a great ad. Whose ad was awful, who's normally incredibly good? Doritos. Gosh, that Doritos ad I thought was a complete train wreck. Those guys are normally, they normally are really, really spot on. And I don't know if this year was one of those crowdsourced, crowd-created ads or not. They've been doing those for the last several years. Man, that Doritos ad was awful. I was so disappointed. So I'd like to know, what ads do you think? What was the best ad during the Super Bowl and what was the worst one? Those were my two choices. So let's talk about how our brains perceive images, words, messages, and how that affects us when it's time to set up our marketing, our advertising, and our branding. Neuroscientists have established pretty conclusively, beyond any doubt, that the human brain mind psychology reacts to faces much more positively than to things. Babies as early as 2 weeks old show a marked preference for faces over things. Now, before you guys jump in and said, oh, that's only true for females rather than males. No, that's true for both genders from the beginning. It is true that males prefer things over people more than females do. But across the board, the human brain reacts, even if it's at a subconscious level, to images of faces much more positively, much more strongly, and much more predictably than the human brain responds to abstract ideas. So how does that affect us? Well, I was looking at a potential client today who needs they need to update their branding. Now, I'm not going to go into what branding is and is not, but let's just talk about the kind of thing that they currently have. Currently, their brand is this very abstract, geometrical, obviously high-tech, I don't know, series of embedded letter L's, it looks like. Nice colors. I mean, the colors are not terribly interesting, but that's kind of tertiary significance. The primary significance that you want with your imaging is something that is arresting to the eye and utterly unforgettable and completely identifiable and unique, and they're nowhere close to that. Secondarily is what the image actually contains, and tertiary is the colors itself. So these folks have an extremely abstract logo, and what their brand is anybody's guess. So they clearly do need help. So were I advising them, if they hired me, I was going to say, look, the first thing you've got to do is you want your image to be something that people instantly relate to. And the human brain instantly relates to faces. And in addition to faces, layered on top of the face itself, is a personality. So what we've got to do primarily, number one thing is we've got to connect the idea of a personality with a face and character in the minds of your target audience with you. So when they think about you, Mr. Company, what they think about is they think about a person. And it doesn't have to be you, the CEO, or you, the founder, or you even the spokesperson, but they've got to have an image, a facial image and a personality that they feel good about, that they can connect with your offering, whether it's a service or a product or a company or a club. People will remember a person with a personality, with a distinctive look and a distinctive, relatable personality long after they'll remember some sort of abstract image with, well-designed fonts and colors and geometric logo. Those things just don't have the same kind of cognitive power that faces and personalities have. So when it's time to create that image for your offering, whether it's a company, a product, a service, whatever it is, rather than going first to the people who design graphic images that are abstract and they worry about color, think about giving a face and a personality to your offering. That can be someone who stands for the offering, like Colonel Sanders stands for KFC, like Jack the Clown stands for Jack in the Box restaurants, like the Geico Gecko stands for Geico Insurance. But it's got to be something with a recognizable face. There's sound neurological reasons for that, and a personality that we both relate to and admire. So, Java for Jack for the day. Remember, if your audience doesn't feel it, they aren't going to love it. See you tomorrow.